Hello, beautiful humans. Hello, hello. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for joining me. Per usual, last minute decision to go live. I've just been practicing being in front of the camera and doing what I do virtually rather than with somebody right in front of me. And there is a learning curve, let me tell you. But I'm really, really happy to be here, and I'm really grateful for those of you who do show up. So today I'm excited because we're going to talk about, I thought we were going to focus mostly on radical self-acceptance, but I had a sort of a recent inspiration, and within that topic, mostly what I want to focus on is something called secret desires. And so we'll talk about attachment, and we'll talk about your desires and this sort of thing as it relates to your self-improvement practice. We're gonna just hang out, chill, do some meditation. I'll guide you through a little bit of a yoga flow and have a little chat about that. So if you are new here, my name is Sharon Clear. I'm a meditation guide, a yoga instructor, and a hypnotist, and I focus mostly on NSDR training, so non-sleep deep rest, which utilizes alpha theta brainwave states to help you align your thoughts, your behaviors with your highest self and release limiting beliefs. So if that interests you, you're in the right place. Thought we would set the mood per usual. See if we can't get these matches. They're always breaking, or like it's just never what I want it to be. But when they do go off, they're so sparkly and so fun. So we must carry on. Oh, bother. Maybe setting the scene is going to look more like drinking some tea that's already pre-made. Okay. So settle into your space, get your meditation cushion, grab yourself your journal, and I've got some room set up for yoga. I'll give you some time to make room if you need for once we get started with our movement practice. Alrighty, so if you are here, let me know in the comments who you are and how you are. I would love to hear from you. And let's just sort of dive right in to secret desires. So I recently came across this term, secret desires, from a podcaster. Her name is Catherine Zenkina, and she talks all about manifestation. And so she used this term secret desires, and I was like, oh, how interesting. The desires that you have that you don't want to admit even to yourself that you have. So certain things like, if you actually do want to be famous, or if you want money, some of these things come with certain stigmas that we then place limiting beliefs on ourselves around not having them. Especially, I think there is an interesting dichotomy within the self-help world, within spirituality, of this non-attachment to desire, right? But also manifesting your desires. And it's like, okay, how am I supposed to be able to manifest my desires if I'm not supposed to have any attachment or any desires? And so I kind of want to look at that dichotomy, that maybe polarity, and kind of actually realize that there is some there's a level ground there, and there is actually something that makes sense within both of these somewhat paradoxical ideas. So the interesting thing about secret desires, right, is that so the desires that you don't want to admit to yourself, like maybe you actually do desire some money, but you say to yourself, oh, money, I don't need it, it's not spiritual, it's not what I want, right? But by doing that, are you really non-attached, or are you doing that out of this fear-based mindset, right? Okay. So take a moment to think about what maybe secret desires you might have, things that you've wanted that you don't want to admit to yourself that you've want, and then ask yourself, what beliefs stand behind my resistance towards those desires? So grab your journal, and we'll sort of settle into that. What secret desires might you have, right? And, oh, the music is not going. Let's get the music flowing while we start journaling. Oh, much better. The ambiance, yes. So what secret desires do you have? And what beliefs are holding you back from allowing yourself to desire those things? Why is it secret, right? Why do I have resistance towards this desire within myself? Because the other question then becomes, okay, well, where are my desires born from? Interesting. Where are my desires born from? What creates those desires within me? I've got a double fist beverages here, keep the mindfulness flowing with all these liquids. So, some of our desires, right, are societally, ingrained in us. Certain things like wanting to look and appear a certain way. Sometimes there's societal influences, right? And so you have to look at your desires, even when it comes to money, right? Okay, my parents or my background or what has influenced the way I think about this desire. But some desires, and especially the desires that you keep kind of coming back to, things that really resonate with you, your bigger dreams, your bigger goals, that, to me, those types of things I tend to think are really aligned with my purpose, right? And so there's this delicate balance between being and dreaming and doing, right? From a place of alignment. And there's this delicate balance between attached desire, right? And allowing desire and things to come and flow through me. And so I've kind of been sitting with this idea in the back of my head for a couple of weeks now. And then I went and listened to Heinz. And I'll mention both of these podcasts in the descriptions. So we have Catherine Zinkina's podcast, which she's called The Manifestation Babe. And then Heinz, who is a really great creative YouTuber, podcaster, and just creative in general. And he just recently put out a video talking about creativity. And so he's talking about creativity and your desires. Maybe it was his manifestation or his affirmation abundance video as well. But one of his more recent videos. And I'm going to lose my train of thought here. The thing that he said was that all of the abundance that comes to him are gifts from God. And you don't have to say God if it doesn't resonate with you. It can be from the universe or source or just the Tao, the movement of things, or just abundance. You don't need to attach God on there. That all of these are gifts, right? Because these material type possessions, you don't leave the world with them. You technically don't own anything, right? Owning in this idea of material wealth or status, right, is definitely external. It's definitely worldly. And so he thinks of them as just temporary gifts, that it's God bestowed certain responsibility for him to what to do with these material gifts. So if you think about money, like if you think about abundance, if you have a lot of money, that the universe is saying, oh, I entrust you with this. I've entrusted you with this, right? Or that some of your desires, that these are not so much from a place of holding, but from a place of flowing. Are you following me? Let me know in the comments how you're feeling about this, if this is resonating. So maybe by now you've written down a few of your secret desires, right? And then below that, certain beliefs that you've held that have made those desires secret, right? Made you hold yourself back from the following, the follow through, the manifestation of said desires, right? So, what's the opposite? Where did those beliefs come from? Are they from society? Are they from you? Are they from, what do you think? Where are those born out of? So I'll give you some time to journal and think about just that. Where did those beliefs come from? Who taught you that? I think a common one that might come up is this idea of selfishness, right? But if we think about all of the abundance that comes to us as being tools, as being resources, right? The more resources you have, the greater good you can do, right? And resources in and of themselves are not good or bad, right? They just are, they're neutral. And so in the hands of someone like you, right, what can you do with those resources? What can you do with that abundance? Beyond that too, it's an abundance mindset is just that, it's a mindset. And the more you adapt that abundance mindset, the more you realize that how much you really have, how much abundance the universe has really entrusted you with, right? How many gifts have been given to you and those opportunities. And the more that you cultivate that mindset, the more you realize that your desires, you can unattach from them, not in saying, oh, get rid of them and I must fast and I must, be completely without desire, but you aren't attached to them. You allow them to come and you allow them to go, right? It's funny how these secret desires, right, are sort of in a way a form of attachment themselves. I'm attached so much to this idea, right, that I can't allow it to flow in and out of my life. There's this resistance. It's from this fear-based or this anxiety-based that I have these secret desires. So inviting yourself to acknowledge these desires, I think, is a form of unattaching to them. I have abundance and I have an abundance mindset, and I know I'm abundant regardless of what happens in the material world, whether I have money, whether I have status, whether I have X and Y, achieved X and Y dream, right? And because of that, I don't have to renounce all of my desires. I instead detach from them and allow desire and abundance to flow effortlessly with ease. So now I want you to go back through and look at your secret desires and say, how can I approach my desires from a place of unattachment and an abundance mindset? So I'm unattached to the outcomes, and I approach my desires more like a game. I already have abundance, I already have fulfillment. And this outside world, if I can collect more resources to do more good, what can I do with that abundance? What can I do with that abundance mindset? What can I do with an unattachment to these desires that I've now allowed myself to acknowledge? So, reopen that journal. Give us some information there. See if this is resonating. Let me know in the comments. So abundance is flowing, right? Non-attachment is flowing. How can you bring more ease into your desires? And it's not by suppressing them, Much like in our meditation, I think when we practice meditation, what we're doing is a releasing of attaching and grasping to each thought, entertaining each thought. And same too with your desires. The less you can grasp and hold on and overindulge in them, the more you are able to receive that abundance, to flow and allow it to come in and out of your life with divine timing, just as they should, as they might. And so there's a little bit of trust in that. Right? So maybe part of an abundance mindset, part of a non-attached mindset, is that of ease, right? Is that of flow, is that of trust and faith in whatever you have trust and faith in, right? So, with that said, let us settle into a meditation. So, close up any final things that you want to write or add in your journal. Any last little things, anything that you think that you might want to bring from your journaling into your meditation today. Take a moment to wrap that up, and then as you do, settling into your space for meditation. So if that means grabbing your meditation cushions, remember that I have some links below for you for meditation cushions from Chakra, the cushions that I use, as well as the video that is first on my page will help you learn how to sit in meditation. So hopefully now you're a little bit settled into a meditative seat, whatever that looks like for you. Your meditative seat will not look exactly like mine. Each body is unique. Every body is different, and so too is your meditation posture. But we'll allow the shoulders to drop down and the chin to become very level to the ground. And we'll start by just breathing, flowing, allowing the breath to flow naturally in and out. And when it feels most natural to you, maybe allowing the eyes to fall closed. And as easily as the breath enters in the body, it falls from the body. And every inhale, the mind, the body becomes light. And every exhale, releasing tension naturally, effortlessly, trusting in the process. And allow every breath to become more natural than the last. Softer, subtle, gentle. And we take this moment to just be, to just breathe. Thoughts flow in and they flow out. Breath flows in, breath flows out. This is how we practice non-attachment. Everything is coming and going, and we sit just witnessing, observing. Just being, just breathing. Breath flows in, breath flows out. Thought comes in, thought fades away. more time we spend just being, the more time we realize that abundance comes from being, not from doing. The more we are able to fill up our cup by simply sitting in stillness and silence. And all the material abundance that comes and goes, that flows to and away from us, are simply little gifts that the universe bestows upon us. Abundance is found in my being. If the mind wanders, you can let it do so, letting it flow, thoughts flow in and thoughts flow out. Or you can return the mind back to the breath. Breath flows in, breath flows out. Just like the breath, giving and receiving in balance. Breath comes in, breath goes out to the world. Not already, very gently, very slowly, allowing the palms of the hands to face up on the lap or the knees, wherever they fall naturally, allowing yourself to be open to receiving, open to giving. gifts flow to me and away from me, but abundance stays. Abundance of the mind, abundance of the heart, fullness in the body, fullness in the soul. Now very gently, very slowly, allow the palms of your hands to lift or float up off the lap, up off the ground, just bending at the elbows. Focus on sensation on the palms, on the fingertips. No need to watch me. Simply listen to my voice. You're doing it just right. That's right. Focus on the fingertips. Focus on the palms of your hands. Now very gently allow the palms of the hands to face one another. Focus on the space, the distance between the palm of your hands. Notice sensation on the fingertips. Imagine the air moving around you. And very slowly, mindfully, allowing the palms of the hands to grow closer and closer together. Slowly they grow closer and closer, closer and closer. Not now, but in a moment they will touch. And when they do, you'll take a deep breath in and your eyes will very gently blink open. The palms grow closer and closer, closer and closer. Closer and closer, closer and closer. And if not already, allow the palms of the hands to touch. Take a deep breath in. Audibly out. Bring the palms of the hands in towards the heart center. Let the eyes blink, blink open, blink, blink open. Rub the palms of the hands together. And we'll bring the palms of the hands to the space between the brows. Draw the thumbs across the eyebrows and the palms cover the eyes completely. Your eyes look left, right, up, and down. Circle the eyes around one way, rinse them the other way, and the palms fall down the face, over the neck, over the arms. Be kind to the body, be kind to the mind. All the way over the body. Little stretches here. Bigger breaths, awake and aware breaths here. Some intuitive movement, flowing. Feel into the body, back into the body, and we'll transition into our movement practice, okay? So, with that said, I'm going to give you a moment to set up your yoga mat, make space for some movement if you need, and I will readjust the camera. Good thing I remembered to turn the microphone back on. Okay, so now we're going to enter into a flow, a yoga flow. And we talked a little bit yesterday about how asana and the practice of yoga really is a practice for life, right? In that, so flowing, right? And of course it's a little bit metaphorical, but all of this is a mental exercise. So in our practice today, thinking about giving and receiving in balance, thinking about flowing and being non-attached, right? So maybe that looks like to you in your practice today, not being attached to certain outcomes within your practice, not being attached to making the posture perfect, right? Maybe not being attached to the breath. Maybe there's no holding. Maybe you allow the breath to move through the body freely. So think about what that might look like for you today. What intention with this idea of allowing abundance and desire and flow, inviting that into your life, how do you want to approach that in your asana practice here today so that you can receive both the physical and mental and spiritual benefit of today's practice? Okay? So, with that said, we'll start seated and simply by entering into the spine. So bringing your attention into the spine and breath. We'll breathe in on the front. We're going to make some circles and out on the back. So breathing in. And you don't have to match my breath. You can find your own breath. Maybe your breath looks like this. Maybe your breath is faster today, slower today, right? Maybe that's how you practice non-attachment, is not being attached to my guidance, but allowing it to just be your internal guidance plus my voice. Allowing this circular motion to invite flow into the body, flow into the mind, flow into the soul. And make sure you're switching directions. You can do it intuitively like I've been doing, just a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Or you can do the same amount of circles on both sides. Let's get more of the upper body involved. We're going to breathe in. And on the exhale, cactus arch the back. Okay? Inhale up. And exhale, concave the back. Bring the belly up under the ribs and the shoulders come forward. So breathing in. Cactus arch. Exhale. Breathing in up. And exhale. Belly underneath the ribs. Breathe up. Exhale, cactus arch. Kind of like a seated cat-cow. Find your breath here. Couple rounds here. Inhale up and exhale, release. Let's roll the shoulders. Inhale up, exhale down. Right now I'm rolling the shoulders back. Few more rounds here. Remember, finding your own breath. And then we'll come forward. And release, shake it out. We're going to get a little twisting action in the spine. Okay, so we're going to breathe up, inhale, rise. Exhale, open up to the right hand side. Inhale, up, rise. Exhale, out to the left. Inhale, rise. Exhale, lift. And this twisting action, they say in Qigong, is great for releasing worry and fear. Massaging the spleen. A few more rounds here. And we'll meet back at center. And exhale, release the arms down. Let's bring the knees together now and the feet out in front. If you need to place your hands behind you for support, that works just as well. We're going to inhale the right arm up. Exhale, meeting the right arm to the left knee. And we're going to get a little bit of a deeper twist here. If you can, gazing all the way back will give you a deeper twist. Otherwise, keep the neck neutral. Listen to your body, finding that place in the posture that has flow and ease. There's still intention there, but you're allowing ease through the body and you're allowing the posture to do the work instead of meeting it with resistance. Inhale the arm up, exhale, release it behind you. Inhale now the left arm. Exhale, left elbow meets the right knee. From here, keeping the head neutral, or for a nice deep twist, gazing to the back. Gently unwinding the spine, lifting the arm up on an inhale, and it comes back behind. Release the feet down in front, give them a good shake, knocking the feet together like we do. Remember that this too, another Qigong movement that shakes up any stagnant energy in the body, tapping the feet, allowing it to flow. From here, we're going to inhale, rise. Exhale, fold forward. Release the head. If you have issues with sciatica, please do not flex too much through the feet. Soften the feet for the lower back. You'll still receive a nice stretch on the back side of the legs. Meeting the posture with ease, giving and receiving to the pose. You give into the pose by releasing, by letting go, by not attaching. And by doing so, you receive the full benefit of the posture. Slowly rise up from the base of the spine. Inhale the arms up. Exhale the arms down. Slowly walk the feet in. Give yourself a little squeeze, a little compression, a little love towards the torso, carrying all even these more gentle, less active postures, bring intention to these postures within your practice. This is about mind, body, and soul. Full practice brings your intention into every posture. Now we're going to work into the hips just a little bit more. From here, we'll come into a butterfly. If you need to, if it is more comfortable for you, if it speaks to you today, you can use a block or a cushion and place it underneath the knees to the height that feels right for you. Okay? So make the adjustments to the posture that you need. Support yourself in the way that you need. And from here, make sure you're not sitting back on the tailbone. I want to be lifted up out of the hips if that's available to me. Sometimes maybe even adjusting by putting a block or bolster underneath the hips. Okay? So play around with it. Give yourself permission to find the right posture. And we lift up, nice and long spine. We bend from the hip. And then rolling and reaching down. So the crown of my head is constantly pulling forward, and then I drop the crown of the head down, okay? Only going as deep as you trust in your body to, right? Not pushing it, allowing gravity and the posture to do the work for you. Meeting yourself at that edge, and then easing into it. Listening to the body, maybe you ease out of it. Maybe you rest deeper, sink deeper into the posture. Slowly rising up from the base of the spine, very gently bringing the hands to the outside of the knees, assisting the knees to come in together. And once more, a little self-love, a little self-hug, a little compression of those vital organs. And when we release, blood re-enters the area, giving it all that nutrients, flushing out toxins. The breath is gentle here as we've compressed the chest. All right, release. Shake out the legs, tap the feet, any stuck energy. And for here, we're gonna come into a gentle straddle. Nothing too serious, not huge splits, just something nice and gentle. From here, we'll move into a forward fold. So, same thing here. I'm not back on my tailbone like so. I'm more onto the fleshy part of my thigh. I then bend from the hip until I feel the edge of that stretch, right? Then I allow gravity to start doing the work, and I can round the top of my torso down and the crown of the head down. Even here, following the breath, And I'm trying to bring this right shoulder to meet the outside of my right knee. So when I do this, I don't want this back left foot to knock in, okay? So just twisting. Same thing, I find the edge of the stretch, and then from the edge of the stretch, rolling, reaching down. I let gravity do the work for me. I find ease in the posture, trust in the process. Long, tall spine, once again twisting now to the opposite side, twisting through the mid-back. From here, bending at the hip, making sure the opposite leg, the right leg, doesn't knock in, keeping that knee up. It doesn't need to be completely flexed here, but see what feels natural to you. And then we'll bend forward. Find the edge of the posture. And then from the edge, rolling down. Very slowly and gently rising back up. If you need, using some assistance from the hands and bringing the knees back together. Shaking out the legs a little. Knocking the feet together. And bringing the knees in towards the chest. We'll come in for another compression. Now this next move, if you've done class with me in person, this will be very familiar to you, okay? I'm going to face this way just because this is the direction the mic is. So mobility, this posture, this exercise is very, very important for your mobility, your ability to, as you get older, continue to be able to get off the floor very easily and go from standing to sitting with ease, okay? So practicing this is very, very valuable no matter what stage you are at. So the full expression, or shall I say what you're working towards, again, wherever you're at within the exercise is perfectly okay? So the full expression is to not use your hands and to be able to go from sitting to standing, okay? Notice that my feet, my knees are aligned. And even for me, I knock my feet out just a little bit. The full expression is to keep the knees in front of you, which is very tricky, and then come to full stand. But let me break it down for you, okay? So a couple of variations that you can take and you can try. Up off the ground, I still have this kickstand back here, and then when I feel balance, coming in front and then coming all the way up. Another variation is starting while sitting on something a little higher. Okay, so you can stack things up really high. Trying with feet in front, feet apart. So The distance of your feet is going to help. Having a kickstand can help. Having a bolster or a block underneath you can help while you practice this mobility exercise. But the full goal is to be able to go from sitting to standing, from standing to sitting. So this is a great little exercise to practice first thing in the morning when you get up out of bed. Though you might not want to when you're sleepy in the morning. I know that's not me. So finding time to practice this exercise, I promise you, it will absolutely help you with mobility. So I want to give you a moment to practice this and to find where you are at in terms of what adjustments you need to make for your personal body and for where you are within this exercise at this moment. Some days it's easier than other days. Some days it's harder. If you can't get it today, I promise just practicing and the effort of doing it is progressing you and increasing your mobility. So the effort you put in is not wasted, even if it doesn't look like this, right? You know, it takes a long time and a lot of practice, at least it did for me, to get to that point. So practice away. I'm going to clear my throat with a little sip of tea. Let me know in the comments if you practiced this exercise and how you found it to feel in the body, if you had success with it, if it was very difficult. Most of the class I do with this in person, we find it to be very fun, even though it's very challenging. Okay, so now that we've practiced sitting and standing, so you come up and maybe down a couple of times, okay? I want to then come into a goddess pose. So bring the feet about mat distance apart. We're going to sit down into a squat. So I'm not compressed into my knees. I'm actually a little bit lifted here. So I'm not rounded and collapsed like so. Instead, I'm lifted out. I'm squeezing through the thighs. The elbows are on the inside of the knees and holding here. Breathing here. Finding ease even through subtle tension is a huge, huge skill that we try to attain in our yoga practice. And then we'll gently place the hands on the mat here and very gently with ease, lifting the hips up and heel toeing the feet together into a forward fold, bending the knees as much as you need. Release the crown of the head like so. Finding gentle breath here. And when we're upside down like this, the blood flow is coming to our heart. It's a great time to allow the breath to slow down. So if you can control the breath, then so too waiting for the heart to align. It's said it takes 8 breaths for your heart rate to align itself with the breath. From here, we'll slowly rise to standing vertebrae by vertebrae. Okay, now that we are in standing, here we'll take a couple of breaths. Grounding down, so I plant all of my toes. I feel balanced in this posture. So even in a standing asana or a standing posture, there's a lot of work that's going on both in the body and in the mind. I'm trying to stack my knees over ankle, my hips over knees, my shoulders over hips. So I'm finding alignment in the body, and I'm feeling into my center of the gravity. Am I weighing into my toes or into my heels, right? Am I one side or the other? Am I a little heavy on one side or the other? Feeling into that space. That's sometimes what yoga teachers mean when we say ground down, right? Feel into your center of the gravity and align the spine. Take a couple breaths here, close the eyes, really feel into the body. Now we'll incorporate the breath and some arm movement, breathing in as the arms rise, breathing out as they fall. 2 more times. Last time, inhale, rise. And on the exhale, swan dive to a forward fold once more. From forward fold, let's come to a flat back. So make sure you're not arched. The hips are nice and neutral with the thigh. The shoulders are not dropped forward or scrunched up. They're dropped down the spine and back. From here, forward fold, bend the knees as much as you need. Place the hands onto the mat. And from here, we're going to move into Warrior One. So pressing firmly into the palms, into the fingertips, shifting the weight over to the left-hand side, lifting this right foot, and a big step back. Make any adjustments you need here. Does the foot need to walk further back? Is my knee stacked over my ankle? Can I see my big toe? From here, we're going to drop that back foot down, and we're going to rise up to a Warrior One posture. Back foot is at a 45-degree angle to the front. And from here, we're going to take some flow with some breath, okay? It's going to look like this. Inhale, the arms rise. Slight arch of the back. Exhale. Lose your balance, apparently. And push it out. So you're inhaling and exhaling. Inhale. The reason this is challenging for your balance is if you're shifting the gaze. So if you're really struggling to balance, picking a focal point here with the breath now. Last time. Now we're going to open up to a Warrior Two. I shift the back foot to 45 degrees, so I'm moving the heel, and then I open up here to a Warrior Two with my arms, checking my alignment, making any adjustments I need. Nice and tall through the spine, holding in the core. Open up Warrior Two. Strong breath. And we're going to breathe here. We're going to exhale, reverse our warrior. Inhale, center. Reach forward, exhale. Meet the elbow to the knee or the elbow to the inside of the knee. Open up like so. Back through your Warrior Two. Reverse. Find your flow of your breath. Push it forward, exhale. Open the arms. Forward, back through neutral. Reverse, and back through neutral. From here, we're going to windmill all the way down. The hands windmill down. The back leg is twisting. Exhale. Neutral breath here. From here, I'm going to lift now the left foot and send it back to a plank. From our plank, we're going to move into a downward dog. In my downward dog, I'm extended through the some common mistakes I see in downward dog is pushing the head out like so. The head should be neutral, and the shoulders, right, are pushed back. So my hands are in front of my shoulders. So the line is hands, elbow, shoulder, hips. And then the opposite end of the triangle is hips, knees, ankles. We're going to move into a plank here. And then we're going to drop the knees, bring the elbows in, come all the way down, and release. Allow the head to gaze to one side or the other, and the breath to be soft. Slow down the heart rate. Turn inwards. Use the breath to find control. Everything softens. Can you hear the children laughing in the background? Just breathing. Turn your gaze to the left hand side now. I'm going to keep my head this way so I can speak to the mic. But you'll turn now to the opposite side. A few moments here to really re-regulate the nervous system. Very gently, very slowly, bring the hands underneath the shoulders once more. You can use the knees if you need, or you can push up all the way if you have that in your practice. And we'll move back through tabletop, back through downward dog. From our downward dog here, we're going to send this right foot in between the hands. So I pull the knee in towards the chest as my shoulders come over the wrists, and then I step it through the hands, and I find that deep lunge in the hips. From here, dropping the heel down so we can rise up to warrior one. Okay. From our warrior one posture, we'll incorporate the breath once more. So, from warrior one, we're breathing in, and then on the exhale, pushing it out. Finding flow, giving and receiving. Receive, give. Receive, give. Receive and give. Last time. And we'll come all the way down to the ground with that. Just kidding. What I meant to say is we're going to open up to warrior two. I hope you caught me before I did. So we'll open up to warrior two. By doing that, I rotate on the heel here. I'm going to switch around so that we have the mic. Oh no, it's failing. Okay. All right. So we're on the right side now, warrior two. We're going to open up with the arms. Nothing is perfect. Open up with the arms. I hope you can still hear me as my voice slowly fades. We're going to reverse the warrior exhale. Inhale. Exhale, pull forward. And open the arms to triangle. Forward. Inhale. Reverse. Exhale. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, forward. Windmill. Last time. And we'll windmill all the way down now. From here, we're going to take this right foot and we're going to step it back. Downward dog. Forward to plank. Elbows come in. Drop the knees all the way down. Head gaze to one side or the other. And allowing the heart rate to come down, the breath to slow. Allow the gaze to turn to the opposite side. I'm going to leave my head this direction just for the mic, but you'll turn your head to the opposite. Trusting in the process, trusting that the breath and the heart rate will slowly come down, rather than trying to force it to do so. Allowing it to flow to you effortlessly. And from here, we're going to roll onto our back. So you'll just roll over like so. I'm going to switch around once more just for the sake of the mic. So we'll come onto our back here. So that they're parallel with the hips here. Bring one hand to the heart and one hand to the belly. We're just going to do a few belly breaths here. So as you breathe out, imagining the belly falls, and as you breathe in, imagining a balloon very gently filling up. Coming back to the intention that you set earlier before we moved into our flow. One of non-attachment, of abundance, of flow and ease. And we'll move into a more restorative, restful flow. From here, we'll allow the knees to windshield wiper to one side, okay? If you have it available to you, you can use a block, a cushion, or a bolster to go between the knees. You can also change and adjust the posture by moving the way the knee is stacked so the knees can be directly stacked on top of each other or a little bit off kilter. You can open up through the chest or keep the hands on the heart and the belly. Finding some ease here. You can allow the eyes to fall closed. The eyes to fall closed. and the mind to follow the breath, or to simply watch your thoughts as they flow in and out. As we spend just a few more moments here in this gentle twist. Trusting in the process, trusting the pose. Very gently now we'll untwist the spine. The hip comes back to neutral, the knees up, and a little side to side here. And very gently now we'll allow the knees to knock over to the opposite side. Again, adjusting if you need a bolster or a block or just some pillows around the house will do. Placing those between the knees, then stacking the knees. The arms come out to a T. Or if you want to feel a little more connected to the body, keeping the hands on the heart and the belly. Allowing the eyes to fall closed. Finding ease through the breath. And allowing the body to settle deeper and deeper into the posture effortlessly. Watching thoughts, watching breath, simply being, letting everything slow down. Very slowly, very gently, we'll untwist the spine. The hips come back down to the mat, just so that the spine is nice and long and the knees are now in the air. You can remove the block, bolster, pillow. And we'll draw the knees in towards the chest and give ourselves another compression here. From here, we'll hold on to the left leg and release the right leg down towards the mat. You can stay here, or if you feel like you would like a deep stretch, you can straighten the leg. Holding at the thigh. Feeling into what depth of the posture is right for you. straightening the leg. The higher up you reach, the deeper the stretch. Or you can stay here for something a little more restorative. It's a very valuable skill to have, to be able to listen to the body and listen to your own personal needs, your physical and mental needs, and be able to ask yourself, what do I need today for my practice? Is a deep stretch right for me today, or is something more restorative? And there's no right or wrong answer. It's just about listening to yourself, listening to your intuition, and allowing that to be what is right for you. Does that make sense? And we'll release back down. From here, we'll bring the left knee back into the chest. The right leg is down. And I'd like you to take the right knee and the right hip, and it will come across the right side here. You can use your bolster or block to support the left knee, and we'll open up the chest for a deep twist, or you can bring the hand onto the belly, onto the heart. In Qigong, again, these twisting motions, these twisting postures are great for releasing worry, of which they say is held in the spleen. So you can see how the twisting motion sort of massages that area. Gently now, bringing that left hip back down to the mat, and then the left leg. We then will bring the right knee in towards the chest. Grab your block or bolster pillow, or you don't need any of the above, right? If it feels, I'm losing my words here. If it feels right to you and if it's helpful, then go ahead and use one, but it's not necessary. So now the right hip is stacked over the left and the right knee is over the left side of the body. Open up through the chest here for a deep twist, or you can keep the right hand on the heart. Very gently now, the hip comes back down to the mat, and so too then the leg drops down. Adjust so that the spine is nice and long. Shake out the feet, shake out the hands, and we'll move into a Shavasana. Before we do, if you feel it necessary to take any other postures, to find any other movement in your practice today, now is a great time to do so. Maybe you take Happy Baby, maybe a simple massage of the hips, maybe through the neck, roll the wrist. Again, it's about cultivating that skill of asking yourself, feeling into the body, how can I best serve myself in this moment? How can I use my intuition to add to my practice? Even if the movements don't make sense and they aren't a traditional yoga pose, this is all okay. And then when you feel ready, settling into your Shavasana, a time to just be, to just breathe. I'll guide you in and I'll guide you out, allowing the eyes to fall closed if not already, and trusting that with every breath, you find more ease. The arms, the legs grow heavy into the earth, trusting in the earth to carry you. And the mind, the forehead grow light, effortless, as thoughts flow in and out with ease. As easily as the breath falls from the body, thoughts fall from the mind. This is time for you to just be. Nobody needs anything, nobody wants anything. Nothing needs to be resolved. Simply be, simply breathe. Gently now, allow the mind to arrive back to the breath, if not already there. Notice how just bringing your attention to the breath gives it more intention, purpose. Allow the inhales to grow very gently, broader than the last. And the exhales begin to fall heavier from the body. Use this breath to bring in the energy that you want to carry with you for the rest of the evening. Calm, balanced, relaxed, whatever that is for you. Imagine that with every inhale, the body fills up with that energy. And every exhale releases anything that isn't just that. Every inhale, it fills the body completely. And every exhale cleanses the body, releases. Deeper now. Broader now. And with this energy, whether it be balanced, calm, energetic, you feel it through your fingers and toes, and you start to wiggle the fingers and toes. You start to roll the wrists, roll the ankles. And with one big concluding breath, we reach up overhead. And on the exhale, every muscle releases. Very good, very good. Very gently, very slowly moving mindfully, allow yourself to roll and cradle to one side or the other. From here, taking a moment to feel gratitude, to feel grateful for the space and time that you've offered yourself here today in self-care. For when we fill up our own cup, it is truly in service of the collective good. When I fill myself up, I'm able to offer my best self to the world, to me, to those that I love. Now very slowly, very gently, when you feel ready and only when you do, allowing yourself to return back to a seated meditative posture. You can keep the eyes closed. You can move as slow as you need. Again, listening to the body, asking yourself how you can serve yourself best. A moment of stillness. Bring the hands to the heart center as a symbol of balance. For you today is that all of your desires come from a place of non-attachment, that you feel completely full of abundance, and then instead see your desires as a playful guidance system, something that directs your goals, and that fulfillment of these desires is just extra little that you then use to then give more. And you allow yourself to give and receive in balance. And it fills you up with prosperity and abundance. Very slowly, very gently, allow the palms of your hands to rise to the space between your brows. Once more, the thumbs draw across the eyebrows, massaging the temples, and the palms of your hands cover your eyes. Open your eyes, gaze left, right, up, down. Circle the eyes around one way and the other, and rinse the palms down the face, over the neck, over the arms, over the body, kind to the body, kind to the mind. Couple more big, deep breaths. releasing anything else. Inhaling in and release anything that isn't serving you. Last time. Inhale in. Brush it out. Thank you so much for joining me today. I love when you interact with me, when you let me know that somebody is on the other side of this camera. So please feel comfortable to introduce yourself to me. It's obviously a very small community, that intimate and small little community that I've got going on here. And so I would love to know if you're listening and how you're feeling after our little session today. And I hope you have a beautiful week. I'm going to try to pop on again tomorrow morning. We'll see how it goes because I do have a flight. So if I get up on time, like I said, these lives are a little bit last minute per usual for me. Just go with the flow, right? So, a couple of announcements for you. I will be hosting, come August, an in-person event in Denver that I'm very much looking forward to. It's a rest and reset retreat. It's a one-day staycation where we take everything that you could possibly receive from a full retreat, in one day. So you get a little massage, a little sauna time, a little journaling, a little meditation. You'll even have a mala workshop and our own private chef. So if you'd like to spend some in-person time with me, cultivating these practices and renewing your energy to be able to step back into your life with a renewed vigor, right? Reset and retreat, right? A rest and reset retreat, right? So we're resetting our energies so that you can step back into your life with intention and with a new energy and feeling excited about your life once more. So that's the purpose of that retreat. If you'd like to learn more about it, you can visit my website at meditationcorporation.com. The other announcement that I have for you is that I have been working on a Yoga Nidra mini course, which will be part of a bigger non-sleep deep rest course. So non-sleep is hypnosis, meditation, and Yoga Nidra. These are all 3 practices that have proven neurological benefits, especially when it comes to releasing negative limiting beliefs and being able to improve your neural plasticity. So if you are interested in that, please make sure that you are on my email list. If you are a Patreon member, however, you do have early access to that course right now. So all 4 of the Yoga Nidra videos that are currently a part of that series are available through my $5 a month Patreon membership, which also gets you exclusive videos and much more. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you for meditating. Thank you for your practice. Thank you for your self-care. Like I said, I really do believe that these practices are for the good of us all and are not at all selfish. And even if they are, please take that time for yourself. It's so valuable. So, with that said, have a beautiful night, have a beautiful week, and I will see you back here very soon.